Happy holidays from C47 Studios. Welcome to our channel where we're going to be taking a behind the scenes look at what it takes to build a production studio. Make sure you hit that subscribe and turn the bell on so you get notifications whenever we come out with new content. Let's hop on in and take a look at the new studio. Hey guys, welcome to episode 1.5. We're halfway between episode 1 and 2. 2 will be coming out in a few weeks, but I wanted to give you a quick look at what's been going on. So this is just a rough look. So we're outside of the main studio space right now, but before we hop in there, I'm going to give you a look at the rest of the floor so you know what's going on. So first up, we're going to have our main podcasting room, which is going to be ideal for about 4 people to record inside of. So to the left, we've got the podcast, and then to the right here, we're going to have a small conference room for hosting meetings and such inside of. The rest of the floor consists of micro offices that can be rented out depending on the length of the projects that are going on. And walking further back here, we have this small little room which is going to be a isolated voiceover booth. We'll be able to do ADR and any type of voiceover work inside of this small room here. So you'll fit, one person inside of there. And then, like I said, going back to the rest of the floor, we're going to have a bunch of offices. These are going to be enclosed with some glass panels and a glass door looking in, and then desks on either side of the wall. And this is going to be ideal for productions that come in and you have a crew that, you might only need for a few weeks or a few months while the production's really geared up. And then the rest of the year, they can be rented out to others. And then on this back wall here, there's some smaller offices that aren't framed in yet. We're going to have refreshments and snacks against that wall there to the right. And now we're walking around, got another micro office to the left. And then this is the larger conference room for having meetings with the television on the left wall and in that front wall there. So that gives you a little bit of a look as to the rest of the floor where the studio is. And now we're going to head on back over to the studio. So again, some micro offices here to the left that haven't been framed in. And then a conference room and our podcast room here. And then right outside of here of the podcast studio, we have the main reception / snacks and refreshments, which are going to have some small chairs that people can sit at, work on their laptops. It's kind of like a little lounge and waiting area with some televisions outside on the main wall that's going to showcase the different works and productions that are going on. So right over here first, to the left, we have a set of double doors that comes right off of the elevator from the main street level. So we're going to have easy access to bring equipment and props and everything into the studio space. So this is the main studio space looking in from the double doors. And then this opening here is the main control room. So we'll have glass window, glass door looking into the main control room. And up on the wall right here where you see the yellow tape, we're going to have our, multi-view and live preview. We're going to have 2 large screens up on the wall with a control surface desk here that will have the video switcher, lighting control, sound, and all of that. So we've wired everything in with dedicated circuits. So that way we're not worried about having any power issues or tripping breakers. So as you see throughout, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But up there, we're going to have the double screens. And then as you can see down here, we have quad boxes on each side. So that way we've got ample power for our main control surface. And the actual video switching and IT equipment has its own separate room. So this is just going to be for the control interfaces and where we run from. All right, so as we swing around here, the first one we're going to take a look at is our IT room. So inside of here will be our server rack, which will house all of our video switching, data infrastructure, rendering, and any type of media storage. So we'll have a server rack inside of there, and we've gone ahead and had a dedicated circuit put in that's going to run, the main UPS for the rack, which you can see right here. And then up on the back wall, we've put provisions in for a quad receptacle box that just our general telecom equipment will plug into. So we wanted to make sure to plan ahead and have ample power for any type of equipment that we have in here. So the electrician's been good and put quite a bit of power outlets throughout. So we'll see those as we go through. So here we are again out in the main studio control room where that big long green tape is in the center. That's going to be like a 6x6 inch box that will have all of our different audio and video cable run down through conduit to it. And then hopping in here, we're going to take a look at our editing room once again. So the editing room here is going to be our online and post-production for audio and video purposes for both the podcast and the video studio side. And we're going to set it up so we can actually run simultaneous. So if we have a production going on in the podcast room and a production production going on in the main studio, we can use our online editing room as a small control room for the podcast setup. Well, the main studio control room here is being used for the main studio space. So looking inside of the room, we've got basically a built-in desk that's going to be going on this wall with a client preview right up there. So something like a 60-inch screen that can be used for previewing what's going on, and the producer can sit in the room with the editor and actually observe and give feedback. Once again, down here we have a quad box that's dedicated specifically to the editing room, with a small multi-gang box is going to be going where the yellow tape is down below there for our video and audio patching. So that's a little bit of a tour with the video room, and right over here is probably where we'll put a small couch again for the producer or whoever's working with the editor to sit on. So then we're going to go ahead and hop into our makeup and wardrobe / green room. So we've got a room here that's going to have a built-in work surface with a mirror and lighting around it for doing makeup and any type of wardrobe and getting ready. Now the idea with this is if we're in the middle of a live production, they can come in through the control room and enter into the makeup and wardrobe room, get ready for their part that's coming up, and without having to interrupt the actual live production that's going on in the studio, we actually have a second door that goes in from the studio space. So first, right here, we have just some of the electrical to plug in for the hair dryers and whatnot, and turn on the lighting for the overhead makeup desk that's not there yet, but this will make more sense once we actually get into more of the finishing phases. And like I was saying, this is the doorway that enters into the studio space, so if we have a production going on and we have talent that's coming in a little bit later, they can enter in through here without actually interrupting the production that's going on. Alright, so now we're inside the main studio. We'll take a quick look inside here. Unfortunately, I was recording with my iPhone and somebody called me while recording, so it cut off my video. So that's why we're only episode 1.5. We're going to take a further look into the actual space in the next episode. So we've got about 12-foot high ceilings, and we're going to finish it out with a drop ceiling with insulation on top to help acoustically treat it and sound deaden it from the floor above. Throughout, we've got quad receptacles in each corner, so we have circuit 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as we look around the space, so we have plenty of dedicated circuits for any lighting needs we have. So we'll take a further look at the space and give you guys an update in a few weeks as to what's going on. Otherwise, happy holidays, and make sure you guys subscribe and check that little notification bell so you get an actual update when our next episode comes out. I tell you what, it's going to be a lot better than what we made today, but I wanted to give you guys a quick look. So have a good one. Talk to you later.